You're supposed to be making an effort to show up online looking pretty. Yeah. You're supposed to make an effort. I'm supposed to be making an effort. Oh, this is such a... Bernie, this is a really rubbish breakfast. I've just made the worst breakfast possible. Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to today's live stream. I am live streaming you today at a later time in the UK. This is awful. Bernie, like, you can't, it's actually disgusting. I've just made the worst scrambled egg I think I've ever... How do you get a scrambled egg wrong? Like, I don't know how... How do you get a scrambled egg wrong? Anyone? Anyone have any ideas? You can't, it's really bad. Bernie wants some. Bernie wants some. Let me move this camera down a bit so you can see Bernie. There we go. Hello you lovely lot. How are you? Oh shit! There we go. I've just made a scrambled egg. And when I tell you, it's the worst scrambled egg I've ever... I don't understand. We need to start this again. This is not... Oh, you have it then, because I'm not going to eat it. How do you get scrambled egg wrong? How? How does one get scrambled egg wrong? I don't understand. So, hello. How are you all today? I haven't had any breakfast. I've had a very emotional morning. I inquired about a work opportunity that came back and was a response that I was like not expecting, because I've got an established relationship with this place. And then I was kind of like, oh, that's a few times now that the response hasn't been what I was expecting. And so then I got upset. And then I thought, you can either be upset or you can ask for clarification, and you can say, hey, is everything okay? Has something happened? What's going on? And I'm so glad I asked, because I then got a message saying, can we talk? And I had a phone call, and it wasn't me, guys. It wasn't me. It wasn't personal. Sometimes things and places have other things going on, and even though it feels personal because you're like, this is different, sometimes if you just say hey, then people can have an opportunity to be like, hey, we're sorry, no, that's not what it meant, that wasn't meant to be like that, and we're sorry, and I'm aware, and I wanted to call just to make sure, blah 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 blah. And that is a relief. Classic ADHD response, is it? Yeah, do you think so? Rejection sensitivity disorder on acid. So then, because I got this, because I was stressing about it, or I would never ask, I would just never speak to them again, right? Which is the other thing that you can do. I never used to ask, just never speak to them again. I think, for me, I would much rather ask, because I'm like, if you don't want to work with me again, can you just tell me? Like, if I think, like, obviously if it's like, can you just tell me? Because my imagination will be worse. And I'm really good with honesty. Like, I like honesty. I'm a big fan of facts. Like, I like it. If you're like, I just don't want to work with you, fine, tell me, fine. That's different to what me imagining in my head. Or if you don't want to date me, or if you don't want a relationship with me, just say I don't want a relationship with you, but I want to talk to you every day, but I will never be your boyfriend. That is so much better than, oh, I'm never gonna, I don't know, like, we're not in a relationship, and like, obviously no, and obviously it doesn't work, so you need to work on yourself, and then, I'll call you tomorrow. That's confusing. It's too confusing. I like very specific, direct information. I respond well to that. I respond like that. I'm almost quite too direct sometimes to people, and people think it's rude, and I'm like, it's not rude, it's very, very honest. And I don't have a problem with honesty. I genuinely don't have a problem with it, because people annoying in the workplace in the UK aren't direct, right? This is the thing, people aren't direct. And then what happens is I spiral, because I then go, oh my god, like what is it? Or like, why do you hate me? Like, what have I done? Why do you hate me? Why does the whole world hate me? Everybody hates me, la 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 la. And actually then they go, no, we don't hate you, actually we just had this other thing going on that you didn't know about, you weren't aware of, and we've been focused on that, and that's kind of taken over all our things, so we didn't, and so the response was curt because it was this and la la. And then you're like, oh, cool. Well, now I'm fine. This is the worst. You're not having all of it because it's, okay, life is too short to beat around the bush. Did you use enough butter in the eggs? They look like rubber bits. Catastrophizing. In other news, I tried to make scrambled eggs, right? My dad, who I've not spoken to in a very, very, very long time, used to make really good eggs. And what he would do is he would like beat 2 eggs, put flour and milk in it, and somehow it was like this Polish omelette-y egg. And I've just tried to recreate it, and it tastes like dog shit. There you go. Oh no, that's disgusting. No, that is disgusting. Okay, hang on, let me go put this in her bowl. Because, what a great live stream this is today. Come on, let's go. Go put this in your bowl because I know, you're very excited. Very excited. I'm so hungry, Bernie. Oh, finally. Oh. Great. There's no food in the house, so I have to have a banana. Anyway. I want to talk to you about something. So Bernie's happy with her eggs. I'm meant to be doing live streams every day, Monday to Thursday, and my plan was to get dressed up really nicely for them, so people are like, oh, who's this beautiful girl online? And instead, I have not had breakfast, I've come on my period today, and I'm trying to eat a raw banana. Welcome to life behind the scenes of chasing your dreams here in the USA. I can't peel a banana. Why can't I peel? That's not how you peel a... For fuck's sake. Can we start this again? You might prefer the realism. We're going to start this again. This is going completely wrong today. I don't know why I fucking bothered. What the fucking... Anyway. Let's start this again. Right. Right, we're going to calm down. We're going to start this again. I don't know what you think you're getting. Right, we're going to start this again. We're starting this again. Hi everyone, welcome to today's live stream. How are you doing? I wrote a Substack article yesterday, and the opening gambit was, I think I'm depressed again. Not in a can't get... It's a raw banana. Oh. That's literally the worst banana I've ever had. Not in a can't get out of bed way, but in a keep trying things and it's not quite working way. And I wrote a Substack article about it. It's free, you can sign up to my Substack, go have a look. And I wrote about doing live streams and how I hate them, and I'm like, oh, I think they're beneath me, la 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 la. And then as I was writing about them, I was like, the one consistent thing that has been lovely in the last few months that has actually kept me feeling loved, cared for, supported and heard and listened to is you lot on my live streams. You've been so kind to me and so lovely and so sweet and so supportive in every state that I've come in here in. Whether I've come on and I'm really happy and excited to share news with you, whether I've come on and been like, oh, I don't want to fucking be here. Like, in every state I've been on, my live streams have been the constant. And actually, I wrote the Substack article and I had loads of really nice comments. And some of the comments were like, it doesn't matter if it's 12 people in a room. Imagine 12 people at a comedy night doing new material. That's what we're doing from here. And then I thought, oh, that's really beautiful. And it's totally reframed things. And so the 18 of you that are watching this live stream now, I just want to say thank you, because you've been so kind, and I've been here going, oh, this is not what I'm doing, this is not what I'm doing, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I should be doing comedy, like I should be on stage, not fucking going on TikTok, so I'm not even dressed properly, and I've just eaten a raw banana, and I made a really bad scrambled egg, so I haven't had breakfast, and I've come on my period today, like I shouldn't be doing this on here. And yet the only thing that is working for me right now is doing this on here, you know. And it's weird when you have these boobs. You ever have boobs that are soft, right? Like they're not like hard boobs, they're not like shaped boobs, they're like soft boobs, and then you put a shirt on and then it like just the softness of the shirt just makes you feel like soft boobs, and you're like, why do they look weird? Like it's just, anyway, like I've got great boobs, like my boobs are great, and yet they're just, oh, it's just weird at this top. Can you go away now, because you've had both my breakfasts. So that's what's happened today. So I approached a conversation that hurt me, and I said, hey, tell me if I'm misreading this, because this is how I'm receiving it. And it gave the other person an opportunity to say, I can totally see why you read it that way, that wasn't the intention at all. That was really lovely. That feels really nice to do that. And take joy and pleasure in the 12 people that are watching. Take joy and the pleasure in the people that are watching. So thank you to you that are watching. And then I saw this Denzel Washington quote that he said to this guy, and he was like, you know, why would they pay to see you at the weekends if you're there with them every day? Like, essentially you should make yourself play harder to get. And I was like, that's what I should be doing. And then I came on to tell you that in this, because how are you going to pay to see me live? Like, I tell you why, because me live is completely different to me this, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So this is exactly where you should be, loving the random conversations. Sorry I'm late, I couldn't find you. What do you mean you couldn't find me? I've been here the whole time. So I thought we could just talk today about showing up anyway, even when it doesn't feel like it's working. I thought that's something that we could just approach, because I still remember a time when there wasn't social media, and I don't know about anybody else, but I think genuinely everybody I speak to, whether in the UK, whether in Greece, whether in Australia, anybody I speak to seems to be feeling like it's hard, like things are hard and challenging, and it's stressful, right? And I think the noise of socials, and then also the politicization of social, that's a great word. And so I've seen, for example, in the US, my TikTok live stream, my feed is completely changed. Like, it's not as it used to have. I used to have a bit of everything about the politics, social commentary, psychology, everything. And now it's the same thing about, like, I don't know, it's like music trends. I did the butcher, I did the baker, like, I don't care. Like, it's so mind-deading. And then you think about content that you're supposed to release, and people are like, you've got to make money online, that's how you do it now. And then speaking to comedy clubs, and the comedy clubs are like, oh yeah, we only book superstars. And there's all these things, all this noise all the time of like how the goalposts constantly change. So when I'm trying to find a venue and get a venue, and they're like, how many tickets can you sell, can you do this? And it's totally changed, right? Everything has changed, and it feels like when you get something right, the goalposts change. So this week, for example, I posted some comedy skits, and I've had really good feedback on my Instagram, where people are like, well, you normally, on Instagram, you don't post comedy, you just post about how you feel about real world events. And so maybe you've got to treat the Instagram like a job. And I've always been hesitant to do that, because I'm like, no, Instagram is for me to express what I want to express, how I feel. Like, I don't want to post comedy. Like, comedy for me should be live in the room, right? I'd buy a pre-sale ticket to a musical if that helps you make it happen. Thank you. I've had a friend passed up on an acting job because they didn't have enough followers on Instagram, right? So then you do post on Instagram and it berates you or belittles you. So then as a comedian, I post a comedy skit and it gets 60 likes because 2 weeks ago I posted Free Palestine, and I posted a thing about feed Gaza, feed kids in Gaza. And so you're like, oh, it's shadow banned me now. So now I'm posting the content about the comedy about my day job. It's limiting it. And I guess it felt a bit, I felt like, I woke yesterday, I was a bit like, after I went to bed last night, I was like, this is exhausting. Like, it constantly changes the thing. And so then I wrote an article about it, and I woke up this morning to some really lovely comments where a few suggestions. One was show up. Even if there's only 12 people watching, keep showing up, because treat this as a workshop place. So I can try things with you that later when I go on stage and do like a proper comedy show, I know how to make 12, I know how to talk to thin air. I know how to do this, right? So this is a skill set in itself. Number two, don't be so whatever to the algorithm, right? Don't be so tied to the algorithm and don't feed it. And I don't think it's right to feed the machine, because actually at 42 it's frying my brain now to be like, oh, what do I got to post? How do I change the post? What do I do? Maybe I take out the last frame where I put God is on the musical because it won't like anything that looks like promotion, so maybe I have to keep it comedy. But I haven't posted comedy for a while because I posted something recently about stop starving children. So you can't post stop starving children, so then you have to do things. Then you're like, well, why are you dictating what I get to post or not post, or whether or not you reward me with an audience when I am releasing content that's free, right? It's free content that takes work, like it takes my time and my work. And it's thanks to my patrons that I get to be able to do that. But why should I post things that I've worked on for free for you to either penalise or celebrate? And then the stuff that you're celebrating is the dumb, I did the butcher, I did the baker, and that's what you're celebrating. And then I'm like, and then you're wondering why you've got a dumbed down audience society, and my brain is frazzled, right? Not to say dancing is dumbed down, not at all, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the context of everything, my brain is frazzled, and I'm 42, and I remember the time before social media existed. And if I'm feeling like this and like this is unhealthy, I'm going to step away from it because you're frying my brain a bit. I can't imagine the newer, younger generation that are growing up in this algorithm, because then you start to wonder what's real and what's fake. You're going to become so confused, right? So I think I like using Instagram to post selfies, pictures of Bernie, and post about things I care about. And when I do post jokes, they don't get much love, even though I think they're brilliant jokes that in the room killed. And so I don't share more jokes. I'm like, I'm not giving you that because that's a really good joke and you're not laughing as much as you should be, motherfucker, so I'm not giving that to you. It doesn't reward me. So, but as my Instagram, as if it's used as a branding, if we're using our social media to brand us, I should be using that as a brand to be like, hey, here's my comedy. I don't want to. I'm like, no, I want my Instagram for me. Like, I want to look back at my Instagram and look at all my life things and what I did and where I was and what I did. Like, it's my personal photo album. And so this idea of what's real and what's fake, I think, is something that we're going to be more and more challenged with as social media gets more advanced, as AI gets more advanced, as we're seeing more things. And I'm listening to this incredible book at the moment by Laura Bates, who I highly recommend, and she talks about AI dolls and how we're seeing a rise in these dolls being bought. And actually some of the most problematic dolls that are the most popular are where men can very much abuse a doll. And the argument is, well, they're not real dolls, so women shouldn't kick up a fuss because, or if women are getting abused in the metaverse, for example, she talked about the metaverse, where you could enter this virtual reality world and women get essayed in this meta world. And rather than being taken seriously and meta coming down on it, what they're doing is they're going, oh, well, it's not a real world and you weren't really attacked, so you should be fine. And then what we're seeing is she talks about feedback that some of the dolls get. And some of the feedback that the dolls are getting is the guys are saying, oh, I can treat this doll how I want, like she's better than my ex-wife, it's better than a human being, I can do what I want with it, I can set her to be quiet, I can set her to be, there's a setting that's like, they're calling it, this is quite triggering by the way, they're calling it like an ape setting, where the doll is not as responsive and physically it doesn't feel as responsive to you. And these are dolls that are being sold, and it's probably $1 billion industry, I think, now. And these are not real. And it's thank you, Miss Gems, it's normalising disgusting behaviour. It's not acceptable in any setting. And they have dolls that are children that are very, very popular. And they've learned how to sell them because they're illegal in many states, but if you order the parts separately, they're very, very popular. And the argument is, well, if it's all right because if it's done online or if it's done with something not real, it's going to stop people from acting out on those behaviours in real life. And I just think that's a really, I don't know what my point is yet because I haven't got there, but I think it's really incredibly dangerous and damaging to our psyche and of how we separate fake things from real things, how the behavior is real, right? So the intention is real. The behavior is not a fake behavior. The intention is not a fake intention. it's a real thing. And actually what Laura Bates describes in her book is that she says what it does is actually encourages abuse in real life, because it becomes like a, you know, like they use the drug addiction hit where you start with a soft drug and you go harder and harder and harder. It's a gateway. Thank you so much. Thank you, Grace. It's a gateway in real life to horrendous behaviour. They always want more. It's only a matter of time before they find the real thing. Danger, stronger feels. It's a training tool for them. That's terrifying in itself, Andrea, right? So if the intention of your behaviour is real, yes, you can do it on something fake, but how long before that speeds up into doing something in real life, right? And so then I'm thinking, it's just interesting here because I'm progressive, thank you. So I'm just thinking here, like I'm posting content and some of it gets rewarded, some of it doesn't get rewarded. And then I'm like, oh, you know, fix the algorithm, create content for the accelerates, thank you. Put things to the algorithm, you know, try and release content that the algorithm wants, that the algorithm wants, that the algorithm wants. But I'm here going, feeling, my intention is, I don't want to do this, I don't like this, this doesn't feel authentic to me. It's certainly far removed from my shows. Like, my shows are incredibly authentic, they're very real, they're very in the moment, and it's a conversation between you and I, and it's very, very human. It's a very human connection that I have in my shows. Somebody was speaking to me yesterday, they were like, when she does a show, she wants to write a one-woman show, but she would like it if somebody came up to her afterwards and they almost cried and were like, you've changed my perspective of things. And I was like, that happens at my shows all the time. Women always cry at my shows and they're like, I loved it, I've never felt this way before. And it's a very real interaction. And so I find it difficult to come on here and be like, here's fake stuff, fake stuff, fake stuff, fake stuff, and just post about comedy stuff just to increase my branding to get you guys into my shows. And I don't know if it's the same platforms that are going, oh yeah, just do the butcher and the baker, just do stuff. And they're the same platforms that are doing online worlds that are saying, oh, well, people are responsible for their own behaviour, and, you know, well, we can't, you know, it's not, you didn't get SA'd in real life, so that's the thing. And they're the same platforms that I'm supposed to spend my money on to boost an advert on to then feed that machine. And it's the same platform that then goes, well, you said feed starving children, so we're not going to push any more of your content. I think I'm just a bit torn with the ethos and the ethics of all of this, and how do you come to terms with, or am I overthinking it? Probably. So this is the conversation that I'm sharing with you, because I'm just thinking out loud. Social behaviours are digressing. We're losing a moral consciousness. I think we've lost a moral, like, for a long time. For a long time. You're not overthinking. So there's just all these ideas, and it's frazzling my brain. And I am somebody that is smart and I'm intelligent and I can walk away from this. So I literally thought, you know what, I'm not going to post on Instagram for 3-4 days. I'm not going to post, like, I haven't posted TikTok today. And I probably should do, I should probably post things, but I don't want to. You're frazzling my brain too much, and I remember a time when you didn't exist. My concern is, how is that going to treat people that have never known a world without this, that only know their ethos, their sense of self and their confidence and their, their value from this? If they don't understand that this is a fake world, they need to step out of it. At what point does that lead to abuse in the real world, not only to themselves but to the real life, to people around them? Because what you're doing is you're desensitizing people and you're dehumanizing people. There's a lot of threads there that probably don't make any sense, that probably have gone a bit too AWOL, and you're like, oh, you're trying to sound intelligent but you're not. No, that's bullshit. Actually, these are important conversations to be had, and I'm just sharing all the plates with you that I'm thinking at the moment. Let's see what you guys have got to say. I think society behaviour is digressing. We're losing moral consciousness. It's sad, but it's true. I wish there was the Instagram from years ago when it was nicer. Do you remember Instagram when it was just pictures and you used to post your pictures? And now it's reels and it's stories and it's everything. And I really miss when Instagram was just like really cool photos and you posted photos. I miss having photo albums. You know when you're on holiday and you've got them developed and you've got your photos? That for me is Instagram. It's my photo album. I don't want my Instagram to be full of reels and stuff. Like, I preferred it when it was just pictures. And if Instagram was just pictures and Facebook was just updates and stories, and then Substack was literally articles and stories, and TikTok was like fun videos, whatever, where you could talk about everything. And we do talk about everything and see pictures of everything rather than some things getting pushed and some things not. I would prefer that. social media essentially allows you to connect with way more people, but in a much more dehumanized way. It's so much more dehumanized, and we've seen the dehumanization. It actually probably starts from trolling. So I posted a video the other day, and somebody put like, "Where's the joke star?" Even though everyone's laughing from the beginning, and then somebody was like, "Oh no, she's hilarious, hilarious. I find her really funny." And he wrote back being like, "Hardly really funny, is she? Look at or something." And I was like, "No, I can see this. You know, I can read you, Michael. I can read you writing that you think I'm not funny, like that you don't think it's relevant." And then I went to have a look on his Facebook page, and somebody's kicked a goal into the net, and he's been like, "What a great goal!" And I wanted to be like, "Well, not really a great goal, is it?" But then I don't think he'd get the link that I've said what he said. Like, it's such a weird thing to do, like to go in and to comment, and that's not even a trolling comment. You just don't find something funny. But when you see them, when they comment on appearance, or they call names, or they get nasty, and some of them have got really nasty. And people have lost the ability to concentrate. It's all about instant gratification. This is the other thing. So I was making a trailer for the musical, which literally starts in a month's time, and the musical is a 90-minute long show. And the feedback has been like, "Oh, you're too fast in it." I get that in all my shows. In all my shows, there is so much information. It's so dense. It's like bam, 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 and I think like I talk, and I talk like I think. So there's lots of things, so you can't get bored, but it's 90 minutes. And you got to watch a show now. Like, I went to go watch Mission Impossible, and it's like a 2.5-hour film, and the scenes are slow and they're dragged out, and it felt so nice not to be like bam, 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 bam with things. And your instinct is to like to get to focus on something else, to get your phone out, to get distracted. And in my shows, I'm keeping people like focused because it's so quick. Like I like that. It works for me. I've contradicted my own point there, but whatever. And so with a trailer for my musical, I've done like a 30-second trailer, and some people are like, "Oh, the things are too fast. It needs to be slower." And then I've done like another trailer that's 1 minute 40, and somebody was like, "This needs to be like 40 seconds." And I'm like, how have we got to the point where you're slowing things down, or you're cutting things down so much to just get the core information there? Like, what is that doing to our brains? Because is it not also subconsciously, is it our frontal thingy? What's the part of our brain that senses fear, that senses things that we're not even conscious of, and it's quick? You know, sometimes something happens that saves your life because you've just thought of it quickly, you moved suddenly, or thingy, like you instantly reacted. And is that not a fight or flight response? So when we're doing things that are very quick and like this, are we not constantly overacting over the fight or flight response? And if we're engorging that fight or flight response, does that not then make us feel in fight or flight mode for the rest of the day when we're out in the real world? Because our brains have gone quick, 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 quick. Yay or nay? People feel so entitled to their opinion heard. The worst they could do. Bernie! 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 Come here now! What have you been up to? Go on your bed. Just trying to get up on the... I can hear her knocking over the plates. You're a pig. You're a big fat pig. Pre-cortex, yeah. I watched I Know What You Did last week, and it was so long for the story to start. Frontal lobe. They said in Bohemian Rhapsody it was way too long for people to be bothered to listen. Cortisol addiction, prefrontal cortex, machine gun Louisa, right? As a teacher, I see that in a children's attention span. It's frightening. This is the thing. It is frightening, isn't it? It is frightening. And I'm not sure how we... I feel like it's one big giant social experiment. And it's important to take yourself out of it sometimes, and to do something in real life, slow living. They want us to get brain rot and then sell us cure products. Capitalism sucks. We literally spend our lives trying to override the fight or flight response. I think that's what it is I'm feeling maybe at the moment. That's why I wrote that article yesterday, because I was like, I think I'm depressed, but I'm not depressed because I've had depression before. I'm not depressed that I feel hopeless or sad or like don't want to get out of bed. I feel like brain fried. And it's because it's trying to do too many things and expecting too many things, and when they don't work and there's not the immediate gratification. So when I film a show or a skit and I put it out and it gets 60 views, 60 likes, I'm like, oh, what's the fucking point? Because it's good. And I can look back and be like, yeah, that was good. I loved that. Interesting you say this, right? So I'm in Sweden, we've just taken digital out of the curriculum because of all the research. Wow, Georgie, can you tell me more about that? Somatic exercises, cold showers, grounding work. So I will often have my bare feet on the grass, and what I've been doing in the US that's helped me, I don't know why it's helped me, but I force myself to do it when I can, about 3 or 4 times a week, is I turn on the shower really cold and I have it on the back of my neck for 30 seconds, and I have to do it for 30 seconds. And whilst it's happening, I'm like, you can do hard things, 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 you can do hard things. And it's just teaching yourself that you're safe when something is scary or uncomfortable. So that's something that I have been naturally doing, so that's interesting. Back to pen and paper. Oh, I see, back to pen and paper and books, thank goodness. That's interesting. I'm loving this for you. Nerves and anxiety used to literally keep us alive, and now we try and medicate it. Exactly, exactly. In fact, a lot of stress, they say, is because before we had that fight or flight response and you'd think you saw a lion, so you'd run. Now what's happening is we're thinking we're seeing a lion, but we're sat at a desk, so we're not running, so then you have all of this within you. It's, yeah. I want to try and do some stand-up soon. I'm trying to think of some material. I really, just some observations I've had that I think are really funny. They don't have roundabouts here because, as a local person said, Americans are too dumb to use them. And I thought that's hilarious that Americans are too dumb to use a fucking roundabout. And when I saw something that looked like a roundabout, which was like, it had like essentially like a square or a hectagon in the middle of the street, and then it had arrows at each bit being like, this way, this way, this way. I was like, that's ridiculous. And I thought it was really funny that they don't have roundabouts. And then when they park, you have to park facing the traffic, the direction. You can't, like on the side street, you can't park with the car facing that way and a car facing that way. They all have to face the same way. And I was like, what's so fucking annoying? Like, why? Like, it's illegal to not do. And then I was like, oh, it's so that you remember what direction the traffic's in. And I was like, you're so fucking dumb. And then I thought of this concept of like how the British think that they're superior. And I'm like, yeah, we do, because the first thing I've said is you're too dumb for roundabouts and you have to park in the same direction because where the streets are going. And then I was like, that's really funny, like, because, well, duh, like, yeah, but then also, I don't know, more to that. There's something, you've got to figure a way to undercut it, but there's something in that. The cycle does not get completed. And we weren't made to take in such intense information in a short time. So I don't understand how Americans can't have roundabouts and can't have cars parked in different directions and yet create some of the most iconic entertainment of the last however many hundred years. Like Hollywood films. I mean, sure, these films have dumbed down and they have created stereotypes that are damaging, even to the population and the psyche. So much so that it's helped, you know, America go to war over such things, because of America's, you know, what they perceived, learned, prejudice and stereotypes, if that makes sense. But how can you create such great, phenomenal work, but then all have to park in the same direction? And do you know what else they have? So you know, on an escalator from a shop, you know when you go on an escalator to the shop, right? You get them, there's one in Surrey Oak in the Sainsbury's, and it's where you put the trolley on and it slowly goes, and it's annoying because you can't push the trolley up the escalator. Do you know what they have here in the States? Those escalators, they have them coming down, right? And at the bottom there is somebody to greet you to pull the trolley off, because somebody said they're too stupid to push it over the thing, so they pull the trolley off. Somebody is paid to pull the trolley off the end of an escalator. I don't know where to start. Not superior, just better. Fight, flight or freeze. A lot of us are overwhelmed and frozen. If they had roundabouts, they would shoot them. I was talking to my friend about this. They do loads of expo and all their TV shows to explain. That's very true. They do. What? Just push it over the line. Exactly. You just push it over but they don't. They have somebody waits at the bottom and they grab it before you get to the edge and they pull it off for you. And you've got to be like, thank you. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Yeah. It is weird. It is weird. I do almost think though, I'd love to be pulled off at the bottom. I do almost think though, everywhere is weird. Like I keep thinking, oh, I should go back to the UK, or I should go to Poland, or I should go to Germany, I should go to wherever. I think I'm going to feel like this wherever I go. I don't know if it's the case that you've got to be in a certain city to make it anymore. Because I'm in LA and I'm not gigging, and I'm talking to you guys. So then does the question become, well, where do you live then that you can regulate your nervous system? Like, is this a city that you can live in that you can regulate your nervous system? And there is an industry here, there is lots of money here, lots of money in Texas, and so people make lots of money and they spend lots of money. You know, there's also a huge poverty, there's huge poverty here. So I inquired about asking somebody to help me make more content, to do more of the videos about Mary Magdalene series, and they were like, the minimum's going to be $500 a day. I don't have $500 a day. My friend's literally covered my rent this month because I can't afford it. Like, I'll pay her back when I make some, but like, that's the expectation here. So you go somewhere else and it's cheaper to live. Do you stay somewhere where the potential, everything costs more but you can make more? Or do you go somewhere that's cheaper to live, make less, but maybe it's less stressful? I don't know. I don't know, gang. Could you go to uni students offering $20? It doesn't, I don't think, it doesn't work like this anymore. I remember working for free for years for a TV production company, and I paid for my own travel and went in and worked like 9-10 hour days for no money. It's not like that anymore. It's expensive in Sweden, but the work-life balance is really good. See, like, the air I think is important, the water, like your surroundings, our environment are so intrinsic to our sense of well-being and mental health. I really learned that when I was living in Birmingham. Living in Birmingham and having a slow life, even though nothing happened, was so good for my nervous system after, like, I had like CPTSD. I mean, I still got it, but like, I was incredibly traumatized after my mum passed. And the routine of having Bernie and taking out for a walk by running water and in a field and in calm, slow pace was really grounding and really good for me. Really, really good for me. And I think for all of us, especially in this world, like, and I don't know if you've noticed anymore, but cities are kind of, I don't know, they're kind of dead. They're not as, like, I don't know anybody that goes out anymore on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Like, I remember you used to go out on a Saturday night and it was like the main event. I don't know, like the Lake District, I'd love to. And I like going out for an event and making it like having a fun night out, but going in for that and then come back out. But I don't know if cities are as crazy anymore. Coming from London but moving to Sweden, living next to a lake now, wouldn't go back. See, I really liked in Birmingham, I lived next to water, and when I was in Austin, I lived next to a lake. And here I'm not next to any water, and any water that I am next to, it's like sewage water. Not sewage water, but it looks like sewage water, even though it doesn't smell, so you're like, I don't know what they put in that because it's disgusting. There's something about that. And then I keep thinking, you're in California, like California is stunning. Go visit parts of California. But I'm just like, no, I'm not, no, just, let's get through today. Let's get through today. Let's just do what we can and take it from there. It's tricky. A matinee these days, love a matinee, mate. Is there a market for coaching stand-up skills? I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. But I want to do the performing. I want to do the performing bit. Let's see what happens with these 5 shows, shall we? Let's see what happens with these 5 shows. I'm gonna try and find some people to pitch it to, I think. because I can't do it on my own. I need a team. I want to build my team, my little community you guys are here. If you like this live stream, to feed the algo, can you do me a favour? Can you just like it? Because if you like the live stream, A, it tells me that it's alright to do more. B, it tells it tells TikTok that people like my content. So then what happens is, even though the live streams might not have many viewers watching or that involved, because it sees, oh, she had like, so I've been getting like 20,000 likes on my live streams. What I've noticed then is in Austin, once I started posting, once I started doing live streams every day, and I was doing this, what happened is 2 weeks later I would see some of my videos pop, and they were old videos, and the only reason they popped is because I think people were liking the live stream, so then TikTok was rewarding me with that. So somebody said earlier, like, you've got to learn to play the game, use Instagram just to post comedy, and then use something else to talk about world events. And I thought I could do that. I could use my Substack to talk about world events and everything. I could use my Instagram just for pictures, and I use my TikTok just for comedy reels. But I don't box myself in life. Why would I box myself in social media? I know that's what you're supposed to do to grow a following, and I know my biggest problem is I don't have a following. But I find that kind of awful, that idea. I'm like, no, why can't I post about everything, across everything, whatever I want at the time that suits? You know? I'm not, you know, I get there's, you know, there's, so I met with a comedian yesterday, and she was saying there's TikTok fame, and you can sell out massive tour shows, and people just want to come and see fame. Like, they just want to see fame. And I'm like, but don't they want to see something good? She was like, they just want to see fame. No, I disagree. I don't think we're all that stupid. I keep getting likes from your lives. I commented months ago. I keep getting likes from your lives I commented on months ago. Oh, you rebel. I know. You popped up on my FYP when you were in Austin. I hadn't seen you. I don't know why you're... Listen, you ate egg flour and a banana. So I don't know what you're thinking for. Comedy is so much funnier than short bits or cheap shots. We need you. I agree, gang. I agree. Slow living. I was thinking about maybe staying here in LA for a year. Like, now I'm here, do I just commit for a year and stay here? And make it work. Like, is it a case of wherever you go is going to be hard? I don't know. I think we need comedy right now. I really think we need God as a Woman right now. I just don't want to be so... These LA shows are going to blow up. Trust the journey. I hope so. I just don't want to... I don't want to get so caught up in this that I then lose the momentum to do that. Because all I really want to do is that, and it annoys me that you have to do all this just to get that done. You know? Pull back on this bit once the show starts. I probably will. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have found your comedy. You won't need this once this July shows goes up. No, but I love this. Sorry, gang. Like, I love talking to you. You're so kind to me. You're so supportive. And I know you're strangers on the internet, and we're not friends, and we don't know each other. And don't be like, oh, we are friends, we're not friends, we don't know each other. But you're human beings that are like, oh, I like this human being, or I listen to whatever. Like, it's a connection of some sort. This has been so intrinsic to me feeling a bit more hopeful being out here on my own. It's actually been massive. It's been a massive part of it, because otherwise you go, what am I doing? I'm just shouting into the void. And then you come on here and I talk to you lot, and you're like, oh no, there are people listening, and like, and also my Patreon. Like, my Patreon is growing because of you guys. Like, my Patreon is growing because I started a TikTok following. If it wasn't for my TikTok following, and yesterday I went up. How many patrons did I got yesterday? I think I went up 7 patrons yesterday. 7 patrons yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 patrons I went up yesterday. So you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Did you join yesterday, Alana? Thank you. So it's pretty cool. Let's see if I've sold any more tickets for my... Oh, I don't know what my login is. Oh no. Okay. Oh, somebody sent me an email. I need to reply to these emails. People send me emails, but they send it on UK time. So then I read it like I wake up at like 3 in the morning and I read it and I'm like, eh. And then I forget that I've got an email, so I need to write back. Anyway, let's go. Thank you for joining me here today. I will be back tomorrow at the same time. I think it's 10 o'clock now, isn't it? It's bedtime. How do we tap into big American money without selling your soul? That's the fucking question. To be honest, how do I tap into American money without selling my soul? That's exactly what I'm out here to do. I think just our nervous system is the key to our success. I think. And it's feeling calm and regulated, and it's not being changed, moved, distorted, abused, controlled by artificial intelligence that has been created for very, very, very few men to make an absolute gigantic fortune amount of money. There is no value in that. There is value in you and I being true to ourselves, and actually in a world that's spending billions on trying to buy our collective mind, spirit, body and souls. The most rebellious thing we can do, the most authentic thing we can do, the most powerful thing we can do, and the way we can maintain such high value, the most valuable thing we can do, is by not buying into it. So let me have my 19 people. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. At least it's fucking real. Let's give you a good thing to go to bed to. This is an interesting chapter. How people hold themselves back from real happiness. This is your nighttime thing. Even though I just dropped a perfect. Everybody has a limited tolerance for feeling good. When things go beyond that limit, we sabotage ourselves so that we can return to our comfort zone. The tired cliche of stepping outside of themselves serves as a crucial purpose. It makes people comfortable with discomfort, which is the gateway to expanding their tolerance for happiness. People make people comfortable with discomfort, the gateway to expanding their tolerance for happiness. Big love. See you later. Keep going, lovely. You're truly funny. I know I'm funny. Bottle top. I know. You don't know yet because you haven't seen it yet. But you will, I promise, okay? You're all going to come to the show and you're going to fucking love it. And then you'll go, oh, that's what she was fucking on about. Okay? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being so kind. Thank you for being so lovely. Thank you for being so sweet and supportive. And I hope you have a nice evening. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Good, me too. I can't wait to. Enjoy your day. See you tomorrow. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to find something to eat. You have to bring it to the UK first. No, you bring it everywhere else first, and then finally when it's blown up, then you bring it back to the UK when they fucking are ready to pay attention. That's the whole fucking point of being here, mate. That's what we do. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, big love everyone, and I'll see you all later. See you tomorrow hopefully. Oh, by the way, just tell me, do you prefer this time, 10 o'clock, or do you prefer 9 o'clock? You're such a monkey. You're such a little madder monkey. Well, I can't see it then, I know. You'll have to wait. You'll have to wait. You'll have to wait till it's proper. I did do the yogurt chai thing. It was rubbish. I didn't put enough yogurt in it. Too many chia seeds. You prefer 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock. See, I thought you preferred 10 o'clock. Yeah, but the other day you all preferred 9. I think you prefer 10. Look, can I just show you my fucking monkey? Hang on. Look at this. Look at this legend. Where's the camera? No, not mirror my video. Flip my camera. Flip my camera. Can you see? Look at this. So funny. We were kidding ourselves. We were going to bed. I knew you needed more yogurt. I know. I did. Anyway. Thank you. Big love. And I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, so I'll see you at 10 o'clock. Bye bye. You're not having any more, so you can, I don't know why you're looking at me like that. And YouTube, just in case you were like, we didn't get to see her. I know. Hang on. Let me do this without breaking the camera. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Can you see it? Oh no, where is she? There she is. Look at her little sausage. Oh, you're so cute. It's ridiculous. You're such a cutie patootie. Okay, bye guys.